I often think, wow, lucky Beatles. They got to say, I want to hold your hand. One of the most simple phrases ever. And it's taken because they started way before I did. Michael Record. Whenever I get excited to create something, I'm often stopped by a worry that my idea is derivative. Do you feel this way? And if so, how do you counter that feeling? This afternoon, I was recording guitars on a song that hasn't got a finished title yet, but it's currently called Spaceman, because I say the word Spaceman a few times in it. And I was recording all the guitar layers and listening back, and I thought, this doesn't sound like anything else. That was a nice feeling. Because I know what you mean. I don't feel like that about my stuff anymore, but I have done this quite a lot now. I think that we only have the same words, the same chords, the same notes, the same instruments, the same whatever, sure, but we're all coming at it from a different angle because your experience and your brain and the things, all of your influences, everything you've read and written and drawn and listened to and been through, that's completely unique. So I don't think you could be derivative in a way that would be bad. But everything is derivative because there's only so much stuff. I often think, wow, lucky Beatles. They got to say, I want to hold your hand. One of the most simple phrases ever. And it's taken because they started way before I did. So I don't know. I just think, do your thing. If you've actually lifted something off someone else, or if it's like completely actually derivative, someone's going to tell you. But I think that it might sound more derivative to you than it would to anybody else, because I think we do sound like ourselves. I often also think about how, say, my song Slow Puncture, which is very old now, I can't believe that chorus hasn't been written by somebody else. But I know that I've never heard it, and I never heard it before I wrote it, and no one's ever said, oh, that's like that song. But I can't believe, given that we all have such limited notes, I can't believe it hasn't been written somewhere else and just we haven't come across each other yet. So I'm waiting for that day. From Ian, how do you stop from repeating yourself? I haven't worried about that at all on this album, and I definitely have worried about that in the past because just thinking, am I writing about the same things or am I playing all the same chords? I think I've just come to terms with the fact, like I was saying, that there's only so many notes and there's only so many words and there's only so many experiences I've had in the past. I think I have the lovely problem, that I'm in a really, really happy and positive and nourishing relationship now. Whereas when I started writing albums, I didn't. And I don't want to be constantly complaining about the same people from the past in my songs, because I think that's a bit ridiculous. I'm doing it a little bit on this album, but in a very, mature way and, thoughtful way, because, telling my story is up to me. It doesn't matter if I think it's absolutely my right to be able to tell my story, whether or not someone else was involved who I no longer speak to, in the same way that they have every right to tell their version of events in whatever art form they choose. But I think, if you are someone who is reading, watching films, or doing any of the things that nourish you creatively, if you keep filling up that well, then you will not be as derivative as you think. You will not be repeating yourself as much as you think. One of my favourite artists is Kristin Hersh. She's put out so many albums under various guises. And I feel like when I hear the beginning of a Kristin Hersh song, I know it's Kristin Hersh. And that must mean, I haven't analysed this because I find that to be a tedious idea, but it must mean that she's playing similar chords or she's playing similar chord sequences. That's kind of like a fingerprint of her songs. And same with Juliana Hatfield, who's another one of my favourite artists. I can sort of tell when it's a Juliana Hatfield song. And she's done absolutely shed loads of albums and loads of songs. So maybe it's okay to repeat yourself because then you sound like you. Or you look like, I know that you do drawing. I don't know what this is. Semaphore. So I think maybe that's okay. And it's okay to have a theme. I know that a lot of illustrators have a theme. Someone might do bunnies with like little pink dots for cheeks. And that's what, that's their thing, is doing that. The tattoo artist who did this octopus for me in Marseille, she does a thing where she puts little crowns on. I know that's a Basquiat thing, actually. So it's a little nod to Basquiat. So I was like, you need to put a crown on that octopus, because that's her thing as a tattooist, to do that. To be honest, the answer to all these questions is do whatever you want and just do the thing. But Where's the fun in that?
I used